Every app scan is your chance to win premium tickets to a Nebraska football, basketball, and volleyball game, along with exclusive game day perks. And when Nebraska goes to a bowl, the winner also gets 2 tickets, lodging, and airfare to the bowl game. Weekly semifinalists will win free food for a year. Go Big Red. Eat at Amigos and enter to win.
Amigos is celebrating 45 years with exclusive Nebraska Legends collectible cups featuring Tom Osborne, John Cook, and some of your favorite Huskers. For every cup sold, 50 cents goes to teammates. Show your Big Red pride by getting all 4 of these collectible cups at Amigos.
This is Tom Osborne with the Teammates Mentoring Program. We have students on the waiting list for a mentor, and we want you to join the team. Learn more about mentoring and support teammates by visiting Amigos.
An overdose can happen in front of you and you might not realize it. Blue lips, slowed breathing, pinpoint pupils, choking sounds, unresponsive to touch or sounds. These signs aren't always obvious, but they can be deadly. Knowing what to do could save your friend, your neighbor, your child. Learn more by visiting myhealthymind.crediblemmind.com so you can be ready before it happens. This message is funded in part by the CDC OD2A grant.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Limitless Male says it's all fun and games until your testosterone plummets. Testosterone levels can start falling as early as age 30 with symptoms like no energy, poor sleep, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, and mood swings. If this sounds familiar, get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. We'll get you back in the game with more strength, energy, and confidence. When you feel this good, you'll wonder why you waited so long to get a free consult at Limitless Male. Get scheduled today.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Derek Pearson, brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
Late night Monday. Late night 402-464-5685. Tonight is therapy. Therapy.
I won't need it.
We need to be there. We need to be there for our brother. We need to be there for our brother Harrison Arns. We need to be there for him in full support.
Won't need it. It'll buff out.
It doesn't mean that we can't be proactive and purposeful in rooting for you and cheering for you. Now, I know that there are some Vikings fans who will disagree, and they're allowed, but we as a group, collectively, I mean, it's 7:28 in the fourth quarter, and the Bears had
and they just blocked the punt.
Well, and they had led the previous three and a half quarters.
Mm-hmm.
So we're rooting for you. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
It just gets worse. I'm just looking up in the middle of you saying that. I'm looking up at the replays of them blocking the punt. So the Bears went 3 and out.
Inside release. whoever 22 is, he's really gonna hate Ricks. Ricks is not gonna enjoy film study. He's not gonna enjoy film study because inside release. No, you never allow inside release. Just unacceptable. And Minnesota's coach looks like he belongs on the roster at Nebraska.
He does.
Like literally he belongs
he looks like O'Connell.
Like backup linebacker. Like
a walk-on linebacker.
Right. He looks the part.
He's got the frame, but he's got to fill out.
Right? Like it's the thing, right? And then so here's what I'm going to put in the water. That Minnesota drives down, you hold them to a 3. Down 6.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb leads them to a game-winning touchdown. They win by 1.
That's the constellations I'm seeing.
I'm just going to put that in the water. You got to manifest things, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to manifest things. And Harrison Arns, I'm going to do that for you because after this long run, I'm not sure that I could put them in the, hey, they're not going to get any points at all. They're in midfield. I don't want to count on that. There's lots to talk about over the course of this thing. And of course, y'all know we're WWE fans. There's a great Monday Night Raw tonight. The Royals did not do themselves any favors in a critical matchup. The series with the Cleveland Guardians is vitally important for Kansas City, and to go into this thing where
2-10.
Yeah, you were ahead. You were ahead of Cleveland going into tonight's matchup in series. Not so much. Not quite the performance that you were hoping for or wanting a dominant Guardians performance and win tonight. And it's interesting too because as the matchups start to line up in the games of importance, you start to poke yourself around. Do you pay attention to just the teams ahead of you? Do you pay attention to the teams in your space? But they can't blame us this time because normally it's when we have them on the terrestrial and they don't hit until the ninth inning, 8th or 9th inning. Once again, they didn't hit.
Yeah, until the 9th inning, they got 2 runs.
Yeah, but only 3 hits the entire ball.
What was the first hit? What inning does this say? Either way, not a great night.
Not a great night. Yeah, they got a hit. Yastrzemski, has got a hit for him and scored. Caglione drove in the 2 runs. You got a hit from Massey. So yeah, not good. Not good.
I mean, by the bottom of the 4th, I didn't realize. Yeah, Guardians already drove in 8 runs.
Not good, Bob.
That's why I was asking where that first hit came from, because they might have been down 8-0 before they even got a hit.
Yeah, not good, Bob.
Not good at all.
Not good, Bob. Yeah, that's a tough deal. Now they're 2.5 games back from the Mariners, but also you're now a half game behind the Guardians, and the Rangers still within striking and certainly in the space. But thankfully, the Mariners currently are down 2-0 as they head to the top of the 6th against the Reds. They also decided not to hit tonight. They only had 3 hits going into the top of the 6th inning. So the Mariners could do you the favor and give it back, which happens in this time of year. The Rangers, of course, stay in range. They shut out the Brewers 5-0. That's out of nowhere. That this is the kind of time of year you start to see some names that you've heard about.
Mm-hmm.
But you get those late season call ups and you go, okay, what are we doing? That's really a thing to watch some of the guys who got called up. Of course, Mets and Phillies in a series that we may see again shortly. Mets hold on to a 1-0 win. They hold the Phillies hold the Mets to 5 hits. That seemed to be the thing today because the Braves held the Cubs to 5 hits.
Oh, except for your Nationals.
Yeah,
15.
Yeah, 19 hits, and it is the Marlins, and I'm just not sure that counts. I'm not sure that counts. Now they swept the Cubs. Well, they took a series from the Cubs, but beating the Marlins, I'm not overly thrilled by it, but I understand. The Rockies and Dodgers currently going at it at Dodger Stadium. The Rockies lead 1-0. The Red Sox out against Oakland. They lead 4-0 in the top of the 5th inning out there. Twins and Angels are tied at 3 in the 5th inning. D-backs and Giants are tied at 4. So we have some pretty good late night baseball. Again, Reds and Padres 2-0. Reds lead, and the Cardinals lead the Mariners 2-0 as well. Have you exhaled yet? Are you breathing?
I'm trying really
how's
hard.
your pulse? Let's check the pulse
78
rate.
is my heart rate.
Okay.
So we're all right. We're keeping it even keel.
I just need to be, aware.
I'm trying to keep full engagement here, and I just keep seeing the Vikings sneak down the field, 3rd and 1 now. And if they punch it in here, you're really stretching your luck. They absolutely need this stop. That's about to come up here. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
I here's the thing. Having been at that stadium for the last preseason game, you get some understanding of the vibe, and it felt a bit Nebraska-ish in the fear that the fans have about, well, when is this going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
You start to believe, and they start to hope, and then hope is a dangerous thing, but it's a powerful thing. And then, yeah, JJ. Okay, JJ. That was unnecessary. That was unnecessary piling on, JJ. That I'm sorry.
That's all. That's why I gave you the touchdown sign. I was like,
I'm
oh
sorry.
my Lord.
I'm sorry, Harrison. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve this. But this is
maybe I need to question my life before this one. What the hell was that guy doing? Some bad things, I think.
Right? Like, you have to ask some questions. To think that being aware, spatially aware, yeah, he made 3 bad reads in the same play.
Mm-hmm.
3 bad reads in the same play. Vikings increased their lead to 27-17, 2:53 left in the 4th quarter.
Wouldn't be too big of a deal, but the Bears missed a field goal as well. So really puts it out of reach.
It has been interesting to watch. I do want to go to the mainstream of sports. We had a busy day, and hearing from you heard from Matt Rule. Started to dive in the pool that is Houston Christian. I am in the next segment. I do want to dive into the who is Houston Christian, and sort of give an idea about what the expectation is. Whether there should be expectations, because Harrison, I'm not sure. So I'm going to ask you what is the expectation after 68-0, and then Houston Christian comes to town? What is your expectation?
Let me see the backups again. Can we get to 3rd, 4th string again? I think that's the goal of these games is, I think Matt Rule was right. He talked about it at the podium. It's like, you want teams like that to come in there and realize, I don't want to schedule Nebraska. Maybe we got some money out of it, but at what cost? Because the pride of my team is in pieces. I think that's the message you want to have with these teams. Like, you just want to dominate. I don't see there's any reason if you did it once. I think your expectation should be to go out there and do it again. Now, you don't want your head to blow up. You don't want to think that you are that team and we can just walk into anywhere and blow anyone out the door. That preparation they did for Akron, they need to double down on what that was, because whatever that was, it led to a great result. So that's kind of where I'm at. I think there is expectations to not walk into this game with an inflated ego. I think that's the expectation, to keep doing what that week was of preparation heading into Akron.
So here's a question, and an honest question for Husker fans who are out there. Have we not learned anything?
It depends by what you mean. What lesson are we talking about? Because I'm sure there's some that we haven't learned. I'm sure there's many.
To not assume anything.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to say we've learned that lesson.
Like
but
to say the expectation is to you want to see the second and third and fourth team, but why? What?
You're able to pull it off once. Keep that same consistency.
You've done it once.
And now you're getting Houston Christian again. What you have on paper, I don't think you should set yourself up for this close game.
This is a team that scored 69 points in its first game.
Against who? Not Nebraska. I think that's the kind of pride. Now you have to balance it. You can't be like, we're Nebraska. These guys aren't going to do anything. But whatever that preparation was for Akron, like that's, I think
it was a week ago that we weren't sure.
Cincinnati looked good.
So
Green pretty good.
Lessons learned. I'm just. It is fascinating to me. It is fascinating to me.
I mean, what do you want the expectation to be? A one-score win?
Do folks know who Coach Batchel is? Do they know who Houston Christian is?
This will be a good segment coming up because I don't really know a whole lot about Houston Christian myself.
Right. So the idea that the expectation is to see second and third players means that you have all the answers in your ones. You have all the answers.
Mm-hmm.
You're positive and sure in that. And then you've seen enough to write it up as this is a win. And Matt Rule literally said, wait a minute, don't do that. Don't do that. Now, it's part of his responsibility to tell his team they can beat anybody, but it's also his responsibility to tell the fan base, hey, pause, let us get there. Don't put any additional pressure on it. In the words of Mark Manny, don't make a thing bigger than it is, but also don't make it smaller than it is. You just have to.
It's that balance.
Their biggest rival, the biggest friction for Nebraska is Nebraska. It's not Houston Christian.
That's why I was mentioning the ego. You gotta. It's about the work of what Nebraska does.
So how does Nebraska handle success? Jay Foreman says it all the time. We don't know how Nebraska handles success because they haven't had it. They haven't had it. And this particular group had more success Saturday than they've had in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And they sit at 2-0, which they've done before. It's where the rubber meets the road that sometimes things go left. And Houston Christian, if folks don't know that Houston Baptist was who Houston Christian is.
Hold on, they did a religion switch?
It was Houston Baptist.
I guess Baptists are Christian, so they just got more broad with it. Okay. Interesting. I did not know this. Interesting.
And you're talking about athletes from Houston, athletes from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go down the Houston Christian roster, you start to identify programs, really quality football programs from the state of Texas. You have to look. Now, it doesn't matter who Nebraska's playing. Their biggest competitor it's always going to be themselves. It's always going to be themselves. But you start to see the Katie's and Allens up and down this roster. You go, well, wait a minute. They put up 69 points against Arkansas Baptist. Okay, whatever that means. But then it doesn't matter who you're playing. What are you trying to do? And I just don't want to put pressure on this team yet. Let them enjoy the 68-0 win. Let them enjoy that. Remember how tense folks were in the last drive against Cincinnati?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that feeling that, well, here are all the things. The pass rush is terrible. And all the things. We're not sure about the backup runners. And there's a million things. Do we have a left tackle? We don't know. What are we going to do up front? Because quite frankly, if you're that light in the pants up front, Big Ten football, they're just gonna push you up and down the field and all those things. And then Sunday, none of those things matter again.
Well, they definitely matter.
Well, I'm just here trying to understand what taking the temperature of the room.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to know what people think. And if people are all in that, you know what, this is going to be a blowout.
I don't think people will be all in until Michigan. And the hope is that the Nebraska football team, which I don't think they will do, time will tell, is overlook Houston Christian before we even get to Michigan. The fan base, I feel like, is going to look ahead. Some could say they have the right to do so because they're not playing in the game. Might lead to some misery with your own emotions. But the football team in itself, I'm looking at some of Houston Christian's games in the last year as well. Let's see, they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But, some of those games, they beat McNeese State 43-22. They beat Louisiana Christian University 70-7. I mean, the games they win, they're scoring 40, 50 plus points. The games they lose, they're giving up plenty of points, but they're just outscoring people. I mean, that's them. It seems like we'll take as much as we can get on offense. And defense, we're not too worried. Their toughest game, SMU last year, they lost 59-7. But of course, you could argue if we're even at SMU's level yet.
Well, that's a playoff.
That's a playoff.
That's a really good team.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good team. Now, watching that game, there's some things that come into play, and you watch. All right, Caleb, give it to him.
They're not going to give it to him, DP.
No, then you're going to flag, and you're going to replay and have to make another play. If you don't have belief in the Husker roster, that's one thing. If you want to give too much credit, that's another.
Mm-hmm.
Then it becomes, what do you want? What do you want from this team this week? Like, what do you want to see?
A win. Don't cut down on penalties a little bit. Keep the wiring in that. I want to see things that aren't self-inflicted wounds, and I want to see a win. And I don't want to see, a lot of this stuff comes down to, it's like why you want to see a big win is if Nebraska dials into the things it's supposed to do. We can talk about, maybe they're better athletically than they are, and we'll learn a little bit more on segment 2, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But if Nebraska keeps doing the things that it says it's been doing, and the thing if it's about Mosey and Nelson are true, which you got to see some more highlights of those guys, they just didn't get a whole lot of reps versus Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to eat up the coach speak, then you can build up this narrative in this head that if Nebraska just executes, doesn't shoot themselves in the foot, then yeah, they should be able to pull away with this one. Now, it's going to be a test for the defense. Again, I think this team's just going to take a lot of shots. Just looking at last year's scores, and then it seems like we'll find out. I wonder if their quarterback's the same as well, but it sounds like they're willing to put the ball down the field.
Well, I mean, you got a 6'3", 210-pound quarterback. So, and he has some skills. I mean, again, if you tell me that you lead your team to putting up 69 points, I don't care if it's against the YWCA. Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
So give Nebraska the same credit you're giving, because neither of them did it against a powerhouse, but you did it, which means that whatever you worked on and then whatever you executed worked. That's what that literally means. And then you have a difficult week this week. They were competitive. This team fights. Okay. That's the first thing I can tell you about Houston Christian. They've got some big dudes up front. They're a little bit small in the backfield, a little bit long at the receiver position. A bunch of 6'3", 205 wide receivers. Some problems. So you tackling becomes a thing. You circle it. The Bears with 202 have scored, can get it within a field goal with the made extra point.
Mm-hmm.
That if they're feisty, that they, even in the SMU game, they fought late into the game, meaning even when they were down 35-0, they still were scrappy, right? They were still trying to make plays. They scored late in the game and things got a little chippy. And they've got some big guys up front. They've got some big guys that, quite frankly, they play like athletic bigs. So when we talk about what should happen and what could happen, if you want to forecast and say, from a talent standpoint, is Houston Christian more talented than Akron?
Yeah, I would think so, just based on the talent pool. But that's one where tough to measure. Yeah.
Well, Akron hasn't scored.
Uh-huh.
They haven't scored all year.
And you would think that the pool that they're recruiting from is going to serve them a bit better.
They haven't. Akron has scored all year, and there is a game where Houston Christian put up 69. Now, again, who they did it against certainly comes into play. And then last week, when you look at last week's tape, and you listen to their coach talk about it, there's some things that they're working on
versus Eastern Kentucky,
right? Things that they're going to work on, right? Things that require some adjustment. All right, fine. Still, you have to, when you look at the numbers, you have to pay attention to what they really mean. Yeah, this team is going to average a lot of points per game because you got 69. And Nebraska's numbers are crazy. Is Nebraska Akron, Nebraska, or are they Cincinnati, Nebraska?
Are those two Nebraskas the same?
I apparently not from the fan base. They're not, because
I think they're pretty closer to each other than, in my opinion, than people realize.
Okay, so the difference between, and people talk about the difference, like the step up between week 1 and 2, or is it the weeks between 2 and 3 where you really see the greatest amount, right? Because you add more things to the playbook, you've got more. You got more reps for other folks. Now there's a lot of more. Today's practice has to be more interesting because a lot of people got game speed reps. They actually now understand what the coach was talking about.
Like I think there's still like they did. I'm a believer. I think that week 1 to week 2 jump is the biggest jump. But I think, I mean, as far as to me, it's more just emotion, confidence, and that this is working. That we're figuring out ways to close games. And I think Cincinnati, I don't think they get dramatically more talented in terms of like what their speed is and all that. For me, it's just the confidence, and then them closing out another close game. I think that's the stuff that's been holding Nebraska back, at least would appear to be mentally for a lot of those guys. Where again, that's why I say with Houston Christian, you're doing a good job. Keep the streak of shooting off your own toes. Keeping the penalties away as we're watching the Bears Vikings. How many 3rd and longs do we have? Not because bad play, but penalties. So bad play in a way, but before the ball's even snapped, you guys are figuring out ways to get some penalties. And then on top of that, when it is snapped, you're getting holding down the field, all sorts of stuff that's making it 10 times harder than it needs to be for your quarterback. That's the type of stuff to where I think when you walk into these games, if you just stay sound, you don't get ahead of yourself, you don't get a big ego, you don't drop the shoulder because you want to get a monster hit and be on ESPN top 10. Practice the fundamentals, do the things you do in practice. It should go the way you want it to. Now, does it mean you win by 68-0? Probably not. Looking at what these guys do offensively, I'd be impressed if we get another shutout. But what they're showing, just looking at these scores defensively, is you should be able to work them a little bit, like to the point to where.
Well, no, but remember they had a shutout as well.
Mm-hmm.
They had a shutout.
So Arkansas Baptist.
They had,
and us, the Akron Zips.
They had a shutout as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when you game plan and you scheme and you rep and it shows up in a 0, you actually executed the game plan. And it doesn't matter who you did it against, right? It doesn't. Defensive coordinator will say, if we hold them to 0, we can't lose. Well, there it is. And it doesn't matter who you do it against, because we've seen really good defenses against really bad offensive teams who still can't get a shutout. So the same things you say about Nebraska, you could possibly say about Houston Christian, because I don't know, we're basing it. You can't totally discount their 69-0 win and give all the value to Nebraska's 68-0 win. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense, because the zeros mean the same thing. The 68 and 69 virtually mean the same thing. Then you're measuring, apples and oranges, because we don't really know one side or the other. But as we learn, what we hope to learn is this. Okay, so Emmett Johnson goes on the 47-yard touchdown run. That answered the explosive play question right off the bat. That in this matchup Saturday, could they get to the point of attack and then get to second level and then finish, right? Turn the 4-yard into a 47-yard. Check. Then, but also remember, that was the only offensive score in the first quarter. So all things weren't perfect, because you had a fumble that you have to circle and figure out, okay, coachable moment, right? A reminder, a stark reminder, because if you do that against a good team, that'll haunt you. That'll haunt you. You can get away with it in a bad against a bad team. Can't do it if it's against a good team and you're being a good team. Ask Derrick Henry. You can do a whole bunch of things right, but if you cough it up, the last thing you do is the thing people will remember. It will override, and it will, especially if it costs you a game. Then you get the safety, which answered the pressure on the quarterback question, and doing it in a critical moment, right? And it came from a player that we maybe had not circled as the most likely player for that to happen to.
Yeah, as a freshman coming in there, I don't think anybody had him on the list.
Cunanan comes in, he bangs a 35-yarder. You feel pretty good about that. Now, it's 12-0.
Should be 21-0 if you look at it in a different light, knowing that you coughed up twice on the 1 yard line.
Well,
12-0.
I'm a member of the coaching fraternity that says you are what the score says it is.
Yeah, and that would be 12-0.
Like you get in trouble saying, well, we should have had 21 points. No, you know.
Well, in my mindset is like, I'm not sitting there during the game like we should have 21, but as like when you look at it after the fact, you know, those red zone opportunities, you got to figure out ways to punch those in, because are you going to fail on those? And then, you know, when you get to some of those tougher opponents, you're not going to get, hypothetically, you're probably not going to run defenses that you're cutting through that easily where you're getting multiple attempts. If you got the ball twice at the 1 yard line, I don't care.
If you fumble against Akron, you can fumble against Michigan.
Exactly. And that's the point of what I'm saying is you got to convert those. You get it within the one.
Well, but it's not easy.
It's not easy, but that's the step.
It's not. None of what we're talking about was easy for Nebraska prior to
100%.
Saturday. So making the assumption that should end it in a touchdown, no, because we hadn't seen that.
The ball at the 1 yard line. You tell me the coach's expectation is to punch that in?
No, you don't count. That's why they don't put points on the board until you do it.
But that's the goal, is to go get 7 at the one.
The goal is always on the first play of the game. If you have 75 offensive plays, the hope is that if you execute if every player on the field executes every responsibility as planned, you don't need 75 offensive plays to score points. Why? Because if you do it on the first 4 plays, technically those 4 plays should result in you banging your head on the end zone. That's how that works. Now, the likelihood of it is a whole nother story.
Okay, I see what you're saying now.
Right? You do not make assumption that plays will be made, because baseball doesn't make assumptions. The infield fly rule, that's the only time they make an assumption of plays. They tell you to stay away from, this should have been an error or not an error. Careful. Should have been a ball or strike. Careful, right? So much so they tell you, don't argue over whether it's a ball or strike. Don't assume that it's a ball or a strike. Do not assume that it's an out or a safe until we tell you, until we confirm it. As a matter of fact, even after we call it, we still may need to confirm it. We can't go beyond that play until we are confirmed that the last play was complete and exactly as we thought it was. So what I say to all of that is, at 12-0, you feel good as a Nebraska fan. It is then the next run of plays and the 3 offensive drives that in the 11 minutes of the second quarter, they put up 3 touchdowns. And I'm not sure that did we have Clark getting a 37-yarder on the was that on the bingo card?
Yeah, definitely not.
Right? Did we expect Emmett to have 2 touchdowns in the first half?
It depends who you ask. I mean,
he never had. He never had.
Depends who you ask.
No. Fact is, he never did that before.
I agree, but I've talked to a lot of people about what the expectations were.
You're talking to the wrong people. You're talking to the wrong people. Stop it. Stop talking to those people immediately.
But were they right, DP?
No, here's the thing. You can go through and you can make expectation on things, but expectation is your guilt. That's your pool.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the reality. That's not the player's responsibility, team's responsibility, or the game's responsibility. They don't care. They don't care. The expectation of what Nebraska fans thought they were going to see Saturday versus what they actually saw, the two had nothing to do with each other. What I would imagine is that those players are now consuming the successes and the lessons, because let's look at Euler's son, who finally gets his moment and plays in a game for the first time. He gets to dress up and play it in Memorial Stadium, and he's out on the kickoff team. They put him out. Game's going so well, he's out there. And shout out to this young man, because he kept at it. He kept at it. Now, the numbers would almost suggest that it's almost impossible for him to make this dream happen. It's very difficult for it to happen, because there are a lot of players who walk on who never get their moment. He got his moment. Ran down the field, got a hit the returner, blew his shoulder out. This game is a humbler on purpose. This is what I'm just saying.
No, you don't need to tell me.
Right?
Final score just came through.
Yeah, I'm this game is a humbler. And fans can be fanatics. The players and the coaches have to be realists. They have to deal with data and facts. It's not how you feel. They've got to go out. They got to study. They've got to get rest. They got to nutrition. They got to make plays. And then keep making plays until the game is finished. And then the fans get to celebrate or live in angst. But the reality is, we don't know what's going to happen Saturday. Fans can hope and add expectation. The coaches and players have an opportunity, and that's what we're shooting for, is the opportunity for this program to go 3-0. That's what we're shooting for. We're waving at folks on the street like, we'll have to do that. We'll have to get them up. We'll have to get the street cam up. We'll get that. We'll do that as well. It is the final from Chicago, Minnesota 27, the Bears 24. We will go to break, come back, and let the folks rejoin us from the terrestrial, and for folks in the car and at home, will be able to join in the conversation. 402-464-5685.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at Schwizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Bring new life to metal treasures with Kaiser Blasting and Coatings. From railings and fences to outdoor furniture and unique antiques, their expert team removes years of rust and weathering and finishes each piece with a lasting powder coat. Trusted by industries across the region, now local homeowners and businesses can experience the same professional care. Visit KaiserBlasting.com or call 402-421-3559 to request your quote. Restore, protect, and make your metal shine like never before with the help of Kaiser Blasting and Coatings.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
You're listening to One on One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. All right, everybody's over. Everybody left the neighbor's party. Everybody's back home. Everybody's back home. Thanks for hanging out with us. Get used to hanging out with us late night here on the Ticket. I was gonna name it recaps and nightcaps because it's gonna feel like that sometimes. Like you need to raise a glass of wine, and just let Harrison just unwind. Because the Bears did what the Bears do. The Bears didn't bear down. They didn't bear down, Harrison. They didn't bear down.
It's getting bad for me right now. I was telling DP off air. I'm in a group chat like most young men are, and with their friends football.
Wait a minute. You have a football
We got a
group
warm
chat.
seat for you, Lars. They won't leave me alone.
You have a football group chat?
Yeah, all my friends are NFL fans. Then we all got teams and
You have an NFL group chat.
college football, NFL, just sports in general. Group chat.
Okay, explain this to me. Okay, who organized it?
It was a great question. In high school, I don't know. It just became like the fantasy, not even fantasy. I think it's, what is it called? 402 Brew Crew. Because we definitely were of drinking
But you
age
said
when we
you
made
started.
that.
Yeah, I was gonna say you said you started it in high school, and then
We can't have a nickname. Maybe we're brewing Mountain Dews, DP.
oh, Mr. Arns. Send those cards and letters to Harrison Arns, and come on, as a teenager, really, bro? Was that what you were doing? The Brew Crew? The Brew Crew. Wow.
You think you're pretty cool when you don't got a lot of neighbors around.
How big was your high school?
My graduating big class, 40 kids.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think like older. Well, I shouldn't say older town, but we didn't get centralized AC until I think senior year.
Stop it. Stop it.
AC Windows, baby.
What?
It's a private school, but it was a really, really small private school. And private schools, they come with their own.
How many rooms? How many classrooms in the school?
3 floors. 4th floor was like the basement. That was the choir and band room. I think on average, you're probably looking at 6 rooms, 7 rooms each floor. And that's the high school. And then the elementary is across in another building across the road called Holy Trinity.
And middle school?
Middle school is in the same building with the high school. 7th through seniors, all in the same building.
So the assumption here is that 300 kids?
Yeah, it's probably pretty close. I maybe even a little bit less than that.
Right?
Yeah, because
300 kids, middle to high school.
Yeah, and it's gonna vary. You're gonna have some classes that was like 20, and then some 30, and it all sounds small, but when you're that small, 10 is a big difference.
So in your graduating class of 40, Harrison Arns, the question, the magic number, what was your class ranking? Do you remember?
That is a good question. Above average? I should have tried harder.
So you were in the top 20?
I was not the valedictorian.
Were you in the top 20
top
or the
20.
bottom?
Not valedictorian.
Were you in the top 20? Were you in the top 20 or the bottom 20?
I could probably say top 20.
Okay, so let's do it the DP way. Bottom third, middle third, top third.
I think middle third. I can't.
Right.
I don't want to say because I mean the one guy's a software engineer, the other guy's a doctor, or at least working to be a doctor. So those boys did well for themselves.
There are things that I need to know now.
Yeah, and then it's interesting. The actual, you know what? I was wrong. The actual valedictorian, I thought it was my friend Jason Becker. It's actually a guy named Nicholas Pultz. He's a priest today. Shout out to him.
Okay, well done, Nicholas. Good on you.
Yeah, I was checking that out the other day. That's a brutal schooling, by the way. I looked at what it takes to become a priest. I never wanted to do it. Shout out to everyone who wants to. Oh my lord.
Yeah, the priest.
A lot of school.
Yeah, the priest is. Yeah, that's a deep. I come from. There are tons of ministers and reverends in my family, and yeah,
you kind of understand why they all speak so eloquently, or I shouldn't say all, but the good ones. You realize there's a lot of teaching that you had. You didn't just go start talking to a bunch of people. And you didn't just only read the Bible every day. You had to learn everything.
Well, I mean, it's the tracking of languages and the meaning of languages, deciphering, being able to actually get into the word and break it down. And not everybody's brain is built for it.
Yeah.
Like not everybody, I mean, it is truly a thing. I mean, it's like being a writer that not everybody can spin, as my uncle would say, can spin the salad so that it becomes tasty. Because you have to get rid of dirt and you have to get rid of water and you have to get rid of all these other things. And to make it presentable or at least consumable, you have to get it to a level that everybody can consume it. And it's not easy to do. My older brother is extremely eloquent, but he's also thoughtful. He's way more thoughtful than I am. He's way more insightful than I am. I am a bit more passionate, but he likes to for somebody that would go into the priesthood, yeah, you've made a choice and a commitment, and it's not simple or easy to do. So bravo to Nicholas for that. So we now have a wrap on week 1 of the NFL, and we'll quickly turn towards week 2. And week 2 starts Thursday night. There's not much time, not much rest for the weary. There's some games that automatically already you have to pay attention to. That Thursday night here on the ticket at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, the 1-0 Commanders and the 1-0 Packers will face each other. 2 young quarterbacks finding their way. Of course, Jordan Love has a running start at this, but the addition of Micah Parsons certainly will be a big part of the story.
Showed up already. Even though he's only in there situationally, he was making a difference.
Well, the thought, I mean, because there was some discussion that Parsons had nibbled at the idea of becoming a member of the Commanders. Right. Like proximity. He's familiar and has friends with that team, and that he saw himself. As a matter of fact, I think the statement was that at some point in his career, he saw himself as a Washington Commander.
Yeah, because that team's just not scary enough already with the young guys they got.
Well,
Some of the veterans they have on there.
You go and get Von Miller. You go and get, Tunsil. You go and get some folks. And, of course, Bobby Wagner is still getting after it. Deron Payne played at that Pro Bowl level, and he's in the top 5 of defensive linemen in the National Football League. The Browns traveled to the Ravens, and that's another one that has meaning and value. Again, neither team can afford to go 0-2. If the Browns go 0-2, it becomes a yard sale pretty quickly. Sadly so. The Jaguars and Bengals at 1-0 apiece. The Giants travel to the Cowboys. Again, somebody's season will taste like bad eggs pretty early. You lose that one. You imagine the Cowboys losing that one at home against the Giants? Oh, poor babies. Poor babies. Like
I don't even want to know what Pete would look like.
Oh, that would be tough. He just, man, that's a pressure. That's a must win.
It is just based on. I don't.
Like, when are you allowed to say
surprised.
must win? When are you allowed to say a must win? Week 2 has to be too early.
It feels too early because like the Cowboys impressed me the way they were competing against the Eagles. I will say I felt like they were Parsons away from maybe winning, but CeeDee Lamb had a few drops. But
Whoops.
Would have been helpful. I'm just saying Jalen Hurts felt like he had all day just running around. Checking out the views.
Hey, man.
Seeing who of his girls in the stand, then running it in.
Waving to the 33rd row.
He had that much time. So that was a little bit of like, maybe this is what you get. Like, I don't know. You could have paid Parsons earlier before you wanted to make a stink and act like it was this deal. And his back.
And
you knew what the deal was.
You got nothing for it.
Nothing. You let him go.
Nothing for it.
That's
nothing.
And that's always where I give and take.
Your Bears travel to Detroit.
Must. I know we just said you can't call it those,
right?
But
like, I mean,
you got the Lions there on their knees because they lost their DC, they lost their OC, they got smoked by the Packers. They didn't look a semblance to what they were last year. This is, Ben Johnson versus Campbell.
Sexy pick. The sexy pick was not even the Philadelphia Eagles; it was the Detroit Lions. And the Bears beating the Lions Sunday would just create all the chaos. All the chaos.
Well, and then we didn't even talk about
right.
Who in the division picked the Chiefs to be the only one to be 0-1? Raiders, Chargers, Broncos, 1-0.
This is where we are. That the Patriots the bottom of the NFC East, AFC East, the Patriots and Dolphins. In that, which of those quarterbacks would you rather have?
Dolphins or Patriots?
Yeah,
Drake May.
Really? I'm still not a member of that club.
I am one hit away from not having a quarterback at all.
Well, but
at least I have a body with Drake May.
And
that sounds horrible, but I genuinely.
But Tua gives you at least has an excuse for why he's not good.
He does.
He has an excuse for why he's not good.
But I don't know what his excuse is for still being out there. Like, hey, if you're seeing ghosts, I don't think the field's haunted. I think you.
Oh my goodness.
I just, I generally get a little bit uncomfortable watching him out there at times because it just feels like I might watch something horrible.
Yeah.
And I generally hope nothing ever happens, but I'm just surprised by him still playing out there.
We need to go to break. We're going to pick this up when we come back because Sunday and Monday's schedule is still pretty full. And then we'll get Saturday's schedule when we come back to the ticket.
After every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches, too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinny Kreekak of State Farm Insurance. Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous. 5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
When you live a tobacco-free life, you're free to live more fully. You're free to be more active and to breathe easier when you are, to be more present with family and friends, and to enjoy food and drinks more fully without nicotine dulling your senses. Tobacco-free can mean better physical health, mental health, and financial health. Giving up tobacco can give you more life. Learn more at quitnow.ne.gov. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired in association with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's schwisow.com. A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council. Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
They're too young to vape.
E-cigarettes are the most used tobacco products among youth. They know vaping is dangerous, don't they? The majority of youth who vape use flavored products, the kind designed to seem harmless.
If they were vaping, I'd be able to tell.
Many vapes are small, discreet, and resemble everyday items. Don't avoid the conversation. Talk to your kids about vaping. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired in association with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and the station.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to One on One with DP. Brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Top of the hour as we head to midnight and get used to hanging out. And some of you are, and thank you for being out there.
Oh, you guys can be my therapy.
Yeah.
I might need a lot of it again this year.
Yeah. I mean, the recap, the day sets itself. Of course, the Vikings, if you were listening, the Vikings get a win over the Bears 27-24. Bears led the way most of the way, and then J.J. McCarthy got it going.
So I'm trying to think. Losers of the ticket. Who's in the sad camp? Me, Pete, Jake. You're happy as can be.
Jake was the saddest. Jake was the saddest.
I should have. I don't know what he was expecting.
Not that. Not the blow,
that is true.
Not the blow up. Not the blow
true.
up. Not the blowout.
I'm being too harsh. That one that would get in my core as well. That would rattle me.
Yeah, not the blowout.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the thing.
Cardinals
is Bach.
Yeah, I'm trying to think they win or lose.
Cardinals lost.
No, so Bach's in the sad corner with us.
Oh, 100%.
Bach's been in the corner with us for a long time.
No, the Cardinals won. Cardinals won.
Okay.
Cardinals won.
Damn, I was hoping for more company.
Cardinals won. As a matter of fact, Cardinals could go on a run. We were going up and down the NFL schedule for this week. The Cardinals host the Panthers.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're in Phoenix this week. And
then they get the 49ers on the road and the Seahawks.
Yeah, well, that's where the
Titans, they do have a pretty decent schedule.
That's where the bird turns, though.
But yeah.
We don't know about the 49ers. We saw the version of the 49ers, but Brock Purdy is reportedly out. Greg Kittle was reportedly out. Fuller's reportedly out. So they took a beating Saturday and
really had to gut it out too.
To
get that win over the newly founded. Well, I shouldn't say founded, but new looking Seahawks.
That was a good-looking Seahawks team, though.
It's better than I thought.
Yeah,
but for the 49ers, who have, again, the injuries make a difference, but they had this team that had the more continuity. They got the head coach who's been there year in, year out, where you expected them to roll in a little bit more. I mean, they got the win. So
they got the win. That's they would be the favorite in the division, in their division, if healthy. But You get McCaffrey back. You get Robinson from the Commanders. You lose Debo. I mean, there's some transition. There is some transition. The Bills travel to the Jets.
Jets aren't a pushover anymore.
They weren't terrible. The Seahawks travel east to face the Steelers. The Chargers, the Rams and the Titans. The Rams go to Tennessee and face the Titans, which the Titans have to buckle up because this could go left really quickly. The Broncos, with their first win, they travel to Indy and face Danny Boy and the Fighting Colts, which, again, statement game on who both of these teams really are. Is Bo Nix or Danny Jones the guy?
Do you have fun when Danny Jones becomes the guy? Do you have a good time watching him?
It's just funny to me.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know why. I don't know why, because he's got a bit of Adrian Martinez in it, and you just there are weeks, there are plays and series and halves and games where his athletic ability at the quarterback position is awe-inspiring. But because he plays that way, then wear and tear lands on him, and then it cost him.
Mm-hmm.
And the other extreme, the other side of the spectrum shows up where in turnovers and, oh my goodness, what was he thinking plays. Now, new uniform, who this? It's the Colts. And if there's a town waiting for Daniel Jones to be that better version, it's the Colts.
Well, it'd be interesting to talk about that too, where this was before where they're figuring out Richardson, Jones, who do we think it's going to be? And the conversation was, well, honestly, if they trust Danny Dimes out there, got a pretty decent offensive line, pretty decent defense. You got Jonathan Taylor in the backfield.
Well,
you could be a pretty competitive team.
But you have to use him.
You have to use him.
You have to use them. You have to use them wisely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're not real sure what the Colts were doing offensively. But we weren't sure. Like, we hadn't seen that version of the Colts. So even to say it to Austin, like, you don't know how to look at this team because we hadn't seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
And so week 2 will be interesting. It'll be Denver, a better defensive team. And you'll see the Eagles. Listen, not for nothing, but the game of the weekend. The game of the weekend is the Super Bowl rematch. It's a Super Bowl rematch. It's Eagles and Chiefs.
Chiefs are going to be upset. They're already 0-1. Now they got to play
now you got
the
the
team
Eagles,
who absolutely embarrassed them in the Super Bowl.
But it's in Kansas City. So that's worth a field goal or 2.5, right? But the Chiefs have to make a statement, and sitting at 0-2 is not the statement. Everybody, I'm a Commanders fan. If the Eagles go 1-1, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Then the Sunday night game, the Falcons and the Vikings, where I'm not sure who the Falcons are either. The Penix version of the Falcons, I'm not sure there. This game would be way more intriguing to me if it was Kirk Cousins behind center against his former team.
No debate there. I agree. 100%.
Right? That it would be way more interesting. Now, it certainly helps in the scouting process, right? He kind of knows some things, but it's also a new Vikings team, and it is this Viking team under J.J. McCarthy playing at home in their home opener on Sunday night. So there's a lot in play. And then next week is one of the weird weeks where we get 2 Monday Night Football games. And they're at different times. So, Harrison, prepare yourself for next week. 2 Monday Night Football games. Yeah.
When did that start happening?
They do it once or twice a year.
Yeah, when did that start, though?
Well, no, literally. It's been a minute because
has it?
I remember that it used to be the first Monday night. It used to be the first Monday night. And then now there's several. Because it used to be that they would have an early Monday night on opening week and then a late Monday night.
Yeah,
and then they would do it again. So the Bucks in the early one, 6 o'clock. It's the Bucks and the Texans. And then later, it's the Chargers and the Raiders. And I think that's, again, a new Charger team. Again, you've done a thing. You made a statement already. And then the Raiders, wait a minute. You figured out a way to win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, DeMornay was kind of chuckling to himself. Like, oh, yeah, they won. They won. What do you
He deserves it.
What do you think of the Raiders?
Derek Carr.
Right?
Like that's me growing up. It was Carr. It was Gruden.
Right.
And we obviously know how some things went. But
right.
like, yeah, like that's the
But
era.
who are they now?
Now I think of Pete Carroll. Like I can't help but think of Seahawks when I see that. And then because you got Geno Smith and Pete Carroll there. We'll see what Ashton Jeanty continues to develop into, but I'm intrigued to see what Pete Carroll does with like the identity and culture of this Raiders team.
And this is where we will have some fun in these late nights, because then I'll be able to ask you, who throws for more yards in the Raiders Chargers, Justin Herbert or Geno Smith?
Herbert.
Even at home.
Even at home. I'm gonna go with Herbert. I Jim Harbaugh for nothing.
Baker Mayfield or CJ Stroud?
Give me Stroud at home.
Yeah, right. I mean,
that one I did have to go. Like, okay, who's home here?
Right.
Those to me, those two teams are. We'll find out. They're pretty close on the same level.
Who has more touchdowns, Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes?
Hurts.
Running and throwing.
I think Chiefs go 0-2.
Bo Nix or Danny Dimes?
Danny Dimes. He stays hot early, cools off later.
You're just diving in the pool. Just diving in the pool.
It's a fun. You know what?
You just dove in the pool.
We've seen it. But we know how the script goes. You said the script out loud yourself.
I just
nice and hot early.
I just wanted to
start
see
spinning late.
Yeah, I just wanted to see it, and it's in full. And the same thing is in play. We have the opportunity Saturday, and again we got to kind of do it last week with Michigan and Oklahoma, who were on air as the Huskers played. So there was no losing of Husker coverage or otherwise, but it worked out. And this week we have the same opportunity.
Oh, whose possibility this week?
The drum roll. It is the Wisconsin Badgers and the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Oh boy!
Right, that will play at the same time that the Huskers are playing, and it will not affect our pregame or postgame, because we will just go as long as we can.
That game to me seems like a lot of sneaky fun.
Who do you want to see suffer more, Wisconsin or Alabama?
Bama.
Right, more chaos. Right,
Wisconsin,
just to watch Alabama, because they may not. Especially being at home, if they do not blow Alabama out, they're going to want his job before he leaves the building.
Especially knowing the way it's gone for Wisconsin.
They're going to take his card away. They're going to take his building code card to get him in.
Oh, I thought you said his car. It's like they might,
too.
slash his tires on top of it. But yeah, they'll definitely take the card.
That too, right? But so we were having the discussion last week about the in-conference. Hey, I'm rooting for Big Ten or against Big Ten. Where do you stand on that? Do you always root for? So let's say it's the Bears division. Are you always rooting against the Lions, Packers, Vikings?
Just the Packers. I don't, as long like the NFL is a little bit different. I'm not really rooting because it's only 4 teams and you play so many games against each other. It's a little bit different. I'm not rooting.
But don't you want them to take losses so that you have a better chance of
absolutely
right?
But then at the end of the year, when you get to the NFC North, they lost all their playoff games. But you have 3 teams in the NFC North. It's like, yeah, that's my division. I'm not a part of it. The Bears are
right,
but
like not my fault.
It's because these guys are so great. That's why. I mean, Big Ten is a little bit different with 18 teams, and even prior before the Pac-12. Like you know what, Wisconsin, I don't like you, but I don't hate you. Don't lose to Alabama.
I don't know how.
Except unless Iowa, get out of my face.
Nick was saying that just he still has the issue with Fickle because he doesn't wear socks with his shoes.
That is a bold move, Fickle.
That is like he's.
I think Nick actually has the right take on that.
Right, like he said, okay, here's where I am with this.
Get sandals or put on some socks, one or the other.
Yeah, I mean, but you're a coach,
So get some damn socks.
Yeah,
Pickle.
put some socks on.
I know you're
some
probably a
socks on.
great man, but
Put some socks
tough
on.
look.
Put some socks on, man. Oh man, that you know what? That is a thing. There is a Thursday night matchup in college football. NC State and Wake Forest will play, and then Friday night, Indiana State and Indiana. Now I have. This is what happens, and this is why I have to check myself from time to time, because I did not know that Indiana State had a football team.
Was it the Sycamores?
Well, I mean, I know it's the Sycamores because of basketball and Larry Bird, but I didn't know that Indiana State plays football.
Yeah, frisky. I'm just kidding. I have no idea. I know they have a football team. Never watched a lick of them.
I had no, and it's such a game or not that there's no point spread. Maybe you can find one.
Oh,
Maybe, see if you can find one. Because some of these games, so if you like on ESPN, it'll tell you that NC State and Wake Forest are playing. NC State is favored by 6.5. The over/under is 53.5. Okay, good. Thanks for telling me. But some of these, Colgate plays Syracuse. Now, mind you, you can watch the Syracuse Orangemen for $3, which is a whole other conversation. That you can watch a college football game for $3. I don't listen. If it's under $10, the fees cost you more than the ticket, right? So what are we doing?
That's why I like the promotions when the team that knows they're down bad. It's buy a Coke. We'll get you that way.
Is that what I mean?
I think that's the way to do it. Don't sell the tickets as the thing. Being like, hey, if you buy a soda, you got tickets to the game too.
So then why not just set a minimum and then let people in?
Be the smart way to do it.
Like just because if you do that, you'll get 5,000 people to buy sodas and hot dogs, right?
Honestly, that's a great idea for places that just aren't making diddly squat off of ticket sales. Make it free. People would be like, "Oh, I saved I didn't have to buy a ticket," not knowing that the ticket only would have cost you $3. You just go ahead and announce it's free, and then they end up, "Wow, here's such a good deal. Let me get 5 beers and 2 hot dogs."
Right? Because you feel like, you know what, y'all did me a solid by letting me in. And then it brings it because they're families, right? Because you can say, bring the family of 8, family of 5. Come on in, and they'll buy 3 sodas, 3 bottles of water, 3 hot dogs, 3 burgers, whatever. Okay, wonderful. We did a thing. But for $3. And I just went, oh my goodness. And they don't do a point spread either for that game.
Yeah, I can't find anything on Indiana State.
Colorado travels to Houston. Who do you think's favorite?
Is it Houston?
The Cougars are a 5.5 point favorite.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, because TCU, I think people forgot that TCU got embarrassed by Colorado when everyone was like, Dion. And you know what? That first game, rightfully so, Dion came out and he put some work on TCU. But then TCU's like, oh, that sucked. Here comes Bill Belichick and UNC. Bill Belichick. And you're going to Chapel Hill. And once again, you're on the road for the next greatest coach in all of college football. And they said, no, have your party on another day. We're not participating. TCU, I'm not sure what their ceiling is, but they might be a dark horse Big 12 team, the way they came out and shut down Colorado.
I would say that until you look at the the Utah.
Utah's been really good. That's a good point. I forgot about Utah.
Right. That's the thing. Kansas State travels to Arizona. They're playing in Tucson. Those tickets are $18. Arizona's favored by 1.5. Kansas State, but look, Kansas State loses again. Going 0-3 with just come on.
That's right. They lost
come on.
Who did they lose to last week?
Well, because they lost in Ireland, they lost Saturday. So
I'm forgetting who Avery Johnson and the boys lost to. It's really tough. I thought I picked Iowa State just simply for the fact that the Dublin curse would last with the underdog always winning.
You bring the stink back. New Mexico travels to UCLA. Now, imagine going to the Rose Bowl. Now, UCLA is favored by 15.5, which, wow, New Mexico. What are y'all even doing? But you can get into the Rose Bowl for $10.
Oh, my Lord.
You can get into the Rose. Listen, now.
Because they lost to UNLV, the tickets are hitting that bad. I guess you're 42 to something, 0-1, 0-2. I don't care if it's, Houston Christian and the Baptist school that you mentioned. I'm going to the Rose Bowl for $10.
Number 4, Oregon travels to Northwestern. Oregon is favored by 27.5.
Cover.
27.5. The cheapest ticket is $200. Y'all go Northwestern. Get your money. Get your money, Northwestern.
The cheapest ticket's $200.
$200. Bruh.
No, hold
Bruh,
on. I'm trying. How do you get to? Are Oregon fans that good at traveling?
Do you know the name of the stadium for Northwestern?
Stadium next to the lake.
Right, like it's the
makeshift.
It's the Northwestern Medicine Field at Martin Stadium. I have no idea. Is it new? This is the new stadium, right? Or no?
Are they debuting the new stadium?
I don't know.
Oh, if that's so, then that's why. Yeah, let me find out.
Can you look and see?
Make much more sense. I thought they were getting 200 tickets.
Well, for $200
on the field next to the lake, and I was like, "There's no way."
Like that thing could break off and just float, right? So find out if Northwestern. That is hilarious. That $200. Northwestern Medicine Field at Martin Stadium. And
Northwestern's building new stadium named Ryan Field, scheduled for completion in fall of 2026.
So this is the old field. This is the field on the lake. $200 a ticket. $200 a ticket.
There's no way.
Bruh. Number 12, Clemson travels to Georgia Tech. That you can get in for $100. Oklahoma travels to Temple. They're playing at Lincoln Financial, so they're playing at the big stadium, $52. So you know, Eagle Stadium. So Wisconsin and Alabama. Now,
I think it's good for that. I wonder.
52. Well, ready?
Yeah.
That I'm stunned. Alabama is a 20.5-point favorite over Wisconsin.
Nope.
20.5-point favorite.
Nope.
20.5 points. You can get in to watch Wisconsin and Alabama for $20. $20, bro. You can't, just for the history. The tour, I'm pretty sure the tour of Bryant-Denny Stadium that happens each week when it's empty is $25.
When they scheduled that game, they probably thought those tickets would be $200, $300, $400 pop.
I'm pretty sure the tour costs more than the game tickets. And mind you, that's the case for a lot of these. Central Michigan travels to the Big House. Michigan is favored by 27.5. Cheapest ticket, $90.
That makes sense. There's a lot of hype around Underwood still, despite the loss to Oklahoma.
In-state. We still do not have a point spread for Nebraska.
I don't know if we'll get one until the day before, if any.
I don't think you're going to get one. I don't know. I think they said it at, if it's above 30, why bother?
Which is smart. But hey, you know what? Sometimes you get those knuckleheads that bet on crazy odds, like the Ravens fan.
We want to know what the number is.
$200K in the fourth quarter when he thought the Ravens had it locked in, even though the numbers were stupid. And
trying to be a cheater, trying to play this. So, what do you think the get-in ticket is for Nebraska?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm gonna go 40.
Right at 40.
Hey.
$40. Dead on the nose. Dead on the nose.
That's usually about how it goes for Nebraska with these non-cons. 50 and under.
I am heartbroken because Towson goes to Maryland, which is really like a quick drive.
Mom drops
It's
them
quick
off
drive.
quick.
It's a quick drive.
Mm-hmm.
And then William & Mary goes to Virginia. Another quick drive. Neither of those tickets are above $10. And I'm going to tell you, I would pay 3 times as much to go to a UVA game than I would a Maryland game. Just for the ambiance.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now, if Maryland's playing, Ohio State, different deal. But if it's just for the home team and the ambiance, Charlottesville. Charlottesville is just, put it on your list. Very cool game experience.
Okay.
Put it on your list. Very cool. Some of these are fantastic. Just utterly fantastic in the places. Penn State host Villanova. Now that's an in-state,
And Nittany Lions are excited.
and there is no point spread.
$60.
You can get in to see the number 2 ranked Penn State Nittany Lions for $34.
Well, less than I expected, but at
Less
least-
than Nebraska.
Yeah,
How you like them apples?
that's a lot.
How you like them apples? Georgia, number 6, Georgia travels to Knoxville to play number 15, Tennessee. Neyland Stadium, or Neyland, I mean, before my brother calls me and yells at me. Georgia's a 3.5-point favorite. What do you think the get-in ticket is, sir?
We'll go 150.
Nope.
200.
Nope.
300.
Nope.
500.
360
Okay.
is the cheapest.
Like I'm going up at 200.
The cheapest ticket to get in to see Georgia and Tennessee is $360.
You said it was in Tennessee?
Yep, it's in Tennessee.
Okay. I should have known better then. Those
Well, if it was in Georgia, it
would be
probably,
good too,
It'd probably
but-
be more. It would probably be more in Georgia. This is crazy. That's a deal.
Must watch.
So let's go to Ross-Ade. Let's go to West Lafayette. It's the men of Troy. It's USC at Purdue.
Yeah, the Boilermakers. USC doesn't seem like a
USC,
I feel like does
USC is
travel.
favored by 21.5.
Boilermakers Stadium, $20.
$36.
36. Really?
36. You can go see Rutgers versus Norfolk State.
10.
18.
Okay.
It's funny to me. Some of these are hilarious.
I'm surprised the Rutgers one pulled 18. Shout out to the Scarlet Knights fan base for
Do you know the name of the stadium in West Virginia, Morgantown, West Virginia?
Memorial. I have no idea.
Milan Puskar Stadium. Milan Puskar. Pitt is a 6.5-point favorite over West Virginia. Pitt is traveling to West Virginia and favored by 6.5. What do you think the get-in ticket is for Pitt and West Virginia?
50.
No, sir.
100?
No, sir.
Ooh, okay. Let me go 150.
No, sir.
Oh my lord, 200.
No, sir.
270.
The cheapest ticket to see Pitt and West Virginia is $226.
$40 less than Tennessee and Georgia.
Bruh. Backyard brawl.
Backyard brawl.
This is a backyard brawl, and it certainly matters. So you're in the space, so you got to pay attention. Okay, so remember the uproar for opening night in Chapel Hill, North Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Richmond Spiders, who I almost played for, are traveling in Chapel Hill to face Bill Belichick and the Tar Heels of North Carolina. What do you think the get-in ticket is?
That is a great question. The hype of last game was immense. I wouldn't be surprised
And
if
they
tickets
won.
were around $250.
$48.
Yeah, that's
$48.
Well, I was thinking last week's were $250. No way this week would be.
But they
$250.
won last week, so $48.
I guess a little bit of momentum back.
$48. I had no idea. And then rivalry games certainly get interesting, but let's go to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The number 5 Miami Hurricanes host the number 18 South Florida Bulls. Yeah. The Hurricanes are favored by 17.5. Now, a part of me immediately wants to throw a nickel down for the Bulls at 17.5. But what do you think the get-in ticket is for South Florida versus Miami?
I'm gonna highball this one. I think it'll be hard. I'm gonna go 120.
$50.
Really, I thought Florida would be buying those up and saying,
You would
"Hell
think
no!"
that South Florida and Miami would show up for a game like this,
Right next to each other.
right next to each other. Psych, $50, and I'm stunned by it.
I guess there's so many fan bases, and then not enough South Florida bandwagoners to get on before the
This
game.
one's tough, bruh.
I'm so looking
Ohio
forward.
State, is a 31.5-point favorite over the Ohio Bobcats. Ohio travels to Ohio State. In-state rivalry.
$70 in the shoe.
$125 is the cheapest ticket.
Bobcats drawing a crowd.
Well, Bobcats are drawing. Listen, they are a card, man. Play attention to that. Here's one for you. Tiger Stadium at night, Saturday night in Baton Rouge. The Florida Gators come to town to face number 3 LSU. What would you pay to get in?
$270.
$90.
What?
I kind of want to. Right. I kind of want to know.
I've never been. Is that not one of the best environments of college football?
That's number one.
Yeah. So what are we doing here?
Baton Rouge on a Saturday night is the number one college football experience that I've ever experienced, and I'm just saying
it looks awesome on
several
TV.
times.
So
right?
I believe it.
Right. Nighttime Baton Rouge. Plus, because you're to eat in Baton Rouge on Friday night, which is a whole other thing, and you just go, okay, you cannot behave yourself, and the tailgate is everywhere.
You see it with LSU every year at the College World. If they are in the College World Series, they bring the tailgate. That's the tailgate place.
We'll go to break after this one. Notre Dame is a 6.5-point favorite. South Bend, Indiana, the number 8 Notre Dame Fighting Irish, they welcome the Aggies. Number 16 Texas A&M at night, South Bend, Indiana. What's the get in?
$240.
$204 is the get in.
$204.
$204 is the get in. I am slightly stunned. I'm also going to tell you that Vanderbilt going to South Carolina, the get in is $162. Bruh, go ahead, Gamecocks. Do your dance. Do your dance. Some of the other games are pretty interesting. Again, you get West Coast and it gets weird. And some of the games just don't really intrigue. Boston College going to Stanford. It's $9, bro. It's Stanford. What have you done to a program? Andrew Luck, good luck, man. Good luck. You're going to need it. We'll break down. We'll get into Houston Christian and some of the story behind that program and what they're bringing to Lincoln, Nebraska. We'll do that when we come back.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous.
5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
We've been hunting these fields north of Kearney since high school. My buddy Ryan has always been my wingman, the life of the party. But I saw a change, and he got really down. Talked about his life being worthless.
If you know someone who's struggling, talk to them about temporarily storing their guns away from their home. Taking care of friends and neighbors. It's what we do in Nebraska. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
When you live a tobacco-free life, you're free to live more fully. You're free to be more active and to breathe easier when you are, to be more present with family and friends, and to enjoy food and drinks more fully without nicotine dulling your senses. Tobacco-free can mean better physical health, mental health, and financial health. Giving up tobacco can give you more life. Learn more at quitnow.ne.gov. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska, aired in association with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Men in Nebraska can be set in their ways, but they can also be quick to change their minds. Just 10 minutes can be enough to step back and rethink the life-ending decision of suicide. If you have a friend or family member who's struggling with depression, talk to them about temporarily storing their guns away from their home. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
There's no better way to spark a child's imagination than to get lost in the adventure of a good book. I'm Jenny Benson, president of NSEA. Working together, parents and teachers can help every child succeed. You can help by reading to your child and let your child read to you. Encourage reading in your home and make it a priority. Make reading fun and a time that you and your child look forward to spending together.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You're listening to One on One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Paint your face. Pump up your muscles. Put tassels on your arms.
Excuse me. What is that?
This is a whole vibe. You need to tie tassels around your calf muscles and around your bicep. Spray your hair really big. Get your face paint on. And then you sprint. Wherever you are, just run around in a circle. Just run around in a circle. And then you grab either a desk or a fence or a wall and you just shake it. You just shake it. So if you've never seen what you need to do over there, Google the Entrance Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior is iconic in his ring entrance. And the funny thing is that for a guy that was just totally jumped up, like totally pumped up to everything. Oh yeah, you see the ring. So you see
I get it.
Oh yeah,
just going like a madman on it.
He is the Ultimate Warrior is such an icon. One, because when he came in, so there was a certain style of wrestling that was going on, and he came in. This was Hogan, Flair on one side. Hogan was, kind of the big guy. Andre the Giant Randy Macho Man Savage, Jake the Snake Roberts, Ted DiBiase. Warrior came in as a former bodybuilder. Now, on the other side of the planet, he came into pro wrestling with Sting. So they were the Blade Runners. It was Ultimate Warrior and Sting. They were both Venice Beach bodybuilders, big hair, the whole shebang. Sting got settled in the NWA. Warrior got pulled over to WWE, blew up right away. Because
this is a California big bodybuilder beach guy coming to play into culture. I felt like those guys just had a run where all of a sudden you start getting the big muscle guys from the California beaches into WWE.
Well, because that was the thing. It was what you didn't see. And if you were selling to the middle of the country, you wanted something that was not something that Midwest folks would aspire to be. Midwest wrestlers were notoriously typical.
That makes sense.
Average, right? I mean, Nick Bockwinkel, Greg and Vern Gagne look like your granddad and your uncle.
Bob and Jim.
Yeah.
Up on the farm.
Vern, he didn't look, and they didn't look like Texas wrestlers. Texas at the time had the Von Erichs. And Kerry Von Erich was such a physical specimen that the game didn't know what to do with him. He was just too good looking. Now, he was also too good looking to take care of himself. He was too good looking to not let the vices get to him. The vices. If you haven't seen The Claw, go watch it. Go watch it. Because then it'll make you go back and find actual videos of the Von Erichs versus the Freebirds was as good a entertainment package as there ever was. I think they wrestled at Cowboy Stadium on like Thanksgiving or Christmas Day.
Oh, that's sick.
Sold the place out. The Von Erichs.
Oh, they sold out?
They sold it out because it was the Von Erichs. I mean, there's a little dungeon of a wrestling gym. So imagine a place like the Complex that was sold out every week with pro wrestling. Every week sold out with pro wrestling. But 5,000, 3,000,
Right.
3,000, 5,000. The Von Erich family did their thing. The dad owned it, ran it, booked it, the whole shebang. His sons were involved. Fritz came through, was kind of the rugged guy, but his sons came through. The oldest, David looked more like a Midwest wrestler. He was a big redhead Texan, but he wasn't the bodybuilder type. He looked like a tight end in football, right? That sort of deal. And then here comes Kerry. And Kerry looks like he's spent every minute in the gym. He was totally sculptured.
You go from big and strong to just absolutely cut.
Just absolutely freak show. And then the younger brother, Kevin looked like the combination of the other two, right? Kevin was the technician of the bunch. Kerry was the matinee star. David was the big brother, kind of the stoic. Think Undertaker.
Okay, yeah.
So think Undertaker. Kerry was more Ultimate Warrior. Kevin was more Macho Man, technician. Bret Hart, technician. Put together really well. Really good football player. And then the Von Erichs took on the Freebirds, where you had Michael Hayes. Michael Hayes was the mouthpiece. Terry Gordy was they called him Bam Bam, and he just looked like every starting left tackle in the NFL. And then they had Buddy Rogers, who was kind of the menace, the short menace, who just he got in all the dark corners and did all the dirty fighting and all that stuff, and those six would just fight each other. And then they started to, like, David became the first champion, or was supposed to, passed away. And it threw everything at a very young age. He passed away. And then Kerry, his vices caught up to him. He actually lost a foot and kept wrestling. Like they were trying to keep a secret that he was using, a replacement. And then they had two younger brothers who wanted to follow in their footsteps, who just weren't ready for it. And it ate them up too. So some of the story of the curse, you literally can follow documentaries on the Von Erich curse. like the Curse of the Von Erichs, and it is a thing, right?
I've heard plenty of it. Like it's not unfamiliar to me when I hear that.
It was a thing, but Ultimate Warrior. Well, Hogan, no. Superstar Billy Graham. Superstar Billy Graham was probably the first bodybuilder superstar wrestler
Rest in peace.
that I can think of. And they billed him from Venice Beach, California. He was actually from Arizona. And he went from Venice Beach to Paradise Valley, Arizona, which is where he was, where he was really from. As a matter of fact, Hogan owes so much money.
I remember that the day he passed, we went through
Billy Graham,
the
right?
comparisons between those two.
Yeah, it was the thing. And then, some of the Polynesian wrestlers got in the body. Jimmy Snuka changed the game. Bob Backlund looked like he was a traditional wrestler who had 235 pounds, but he's put together. Tony Atlas, who was actually Mr. USA, actually won a Mr. USA competition. He and Bruce Reed, who went by Butch. Butch played for the Kansas City Chiefs. Ron Simmons, who played at Florida State, was a nose tackle, built like all get out. And then the bodybuilder phase happened, and then steroids took it over the top because everybody overdid. Like you just
new thing. No one knows the real repercussions of any of it yet.
Right, you overdid it. And then there was a full run of just like Macho was, too much. It was too much.
Well, and all the competitions getting an edge on each other, and if you're the one on the outside not doing it, it's like you look dramatically different.
Baseball.
Exactly.
Think baseball, same era, same run. That if you're, it's the Bonds factor where you say, if you think you're the best player in Major League Baseball, but everybody's paying attention to McGwire and Sosa, and I don't look like that, but there's a reason why I don't look like that. And they're hitting the ball the way they are because, there's a way. I know why they're hitting the ball the way. So what do? Well, if you're Barry Bonds, okay, watch this. If this is what y'all are doing, I'm going to do it better than y'all. I'm going to do it better than y'all. And it was a full, Baggio and Biggio in Houston.
Sorry to cut you off. Real quick, the roided Olympics. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
For or against? Or don't care?
Well, if you want to know in full what the human possibilities are, yes. But it's the Drago Rocky thing. That who would you root for? Drago or Rocky?
Rocky.
Right? But you want to see you need the superhuman Drago in order to appreciate natural built.
Well, I'm not
Rocky.
sure how many Dragos are in the regular Olympics is where I fall.
A lot. I mean,
exactly.
You got to remember that there was a run. I mean, the Russian run in doping. The Russians dope better than anybody else. Like their scientists are in the lab way ahead of and above, and that exists.
And correct tense, doping, not dope.
Right. And I mean, it's happening now.
Exactly.
Right. That you're setting drug tests, chasing a thing that is already advanced past what you're testing. Anthony talks about it with UFC, that it's a thing. WWE had to have those discussions.
That's everywhere, NBA.
But I'm old enough to remember where the fastest human being in the world was a guy by the name of Valery Bortsov, a Russian sprinter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that wasn't really the norm.
Mm-hmm.
And the U.S. was super talented. Steve Williams, Harvey Glance, Riddick. They had some dudes, right? Couldn't beat Bortsov until you could. And then it became a thing where the Russian women then took over, and you went, wait a minute, what is happening? What is happening? So the doping has always existed on the Olympic level, which is why they still test. I mean, think of Ben Johnson and the Canadian sprinter, where he almost shut down the Olympics because of doping.
Well, I think I can't remember what team it was from China, but they got caught pretty bad, and I think they had to forfeit.
Well, I mean, China and Russia. I mean, that was kind of the thing,
mm-hmm.
right? And if you were behind the Iron Curtain, I mean, Germany went through its run like that. that was a part of sports. It happened in other sports as well. It happened in tennis.
And that's where I kind of like the roided Olympics. It sounds crazy, but it's at a point where it's like, listen, this way we can get an idea of, we're all know, no one's not doing it.
It's bodybuilding. Like you can get into parts of bodybuilding. They will say that it's natural and throw it in air quotes.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also the open bodybuilding federations that just like say, go for it. Like whatever you do to yourself, that's on you. Let's see what you can do with you. But like, let's kick the tires on this bad boy and let's see what you can do. And it just depends on that. Yes, people are making choices, but I'm not sure that I want to be around to see the fallout.
See, that's the part where I have that doubt maybe creep in. Because
Right.
it's like, people are doing it already. Maybe this is a safer way to do it. Maybe this is the plug that makes some horrific, tragic stories later in life.
Well, but it's been done in sports. We just don't talk about it in the way like the NFL. We went through it where you just have to go, good heavens, man. Like everybody was 350 pounds, like all the linemen. And, you see, I mean, listen, not for nothing. You can talk about it in Nebraska, right? You can talk about it in Nebraska. You can go through and go, well, wait a minute. That guy's walking around now at 230 pounds. He played at 315.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize that the pressure and the duress it puts your heart under, your body under, your joints under. So folks kind of, melt themselves back down. It happens a lot in the NFL. Part of the conversation is what happens in baseball, what happens in basketball, right? Because basketball, it takes on a different level. In basketball, it's recovery. It allows you to play 82 games.
Yep, and that's what you hear more and more of with no real source, just trusted sources close inside. But you can kind of use your brain. You can see the result enough to where it wouldn't make your jaw hit the floor.
Well, it's in knowing that the joints tell a story that the muscles can't. And the joints will tell you, look, we're not built to carry this sort of torque and explosiveness. And the joints collapse and the muscles then tear. And that's when you see somebody that constantly has joint issue, you kind of circle it and go, okay, you're asking your body to do things it doesn't want to do.
Well, it makes sense. How much pounds of muscle did you throw on in these past few months? Your body's never walked around with that.
Your body you're putting the joints, the thing that it is built, it is naturally inherently built to carry X number of pounds and force. And you're putting so much more on it than that. We'll go to break, close out, get you out of here and head you into Tuesday.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am Hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Bank Strong, and the Ad Council.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Men in Nebraska can be set in their ways, but they can also be quick to change their minds. Just 10 minutes can be enough to step back and rethink the life-ending decision of suicide. If you have a friend or family member who's struggling with depression, talk to them about temporarily storing their guns away from their home. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to One on One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment in the recap to set the tone. Again, we head into week 2 officially in the NFL, and then the Royals fall tonight. The standings currently sit in the wild card game. They will sit 3 games behind the Mariners, a game and a half behind the Guardians, a half game behind the Guardians, and they face the Guardians tomorrow. They are a game and a half behind the Texas Rangers, who are a game and a half behind the Seattle Mariners. So the pursuit of this thing, the Royals have to get on a run pretty quickly and stay hot. And some of the regular season divisional titles, to think about it, that the Blue Jays are only 2 games ahead of the Yankees, 3 games ahead of the Red Sox, and they will play each other quite a bit down the stretch. The Tigers have done a pretty good job of staying away from the mess and muck. They're 8.5 games ahead of the Guardians. The Astros have been consistent and getting better. 12 games over 500. They have a 2-game lead over the Mariners. So, again, in the space, the Mariners need to get it going. They're only a game and a half ahead of the Rangers. The Rangers are 3.5 behind the Astros.
Mm-hmm.
So, not done. The Philadelphia Phillies taking advantage of situation. They are 8 games ahead of the New York Mets. 8 games ahead as they settle into theirs. The Milwaukee Brewers at 89 wins, sit 7.5 games ahead of the Cubs. And then out west, the Dodgers are 1 game ahead of the San Diego Padres. Just one game. And so, okay, that could shake things up a little bit. If the wild card started today, it would be the Cubs, Padres, and Mets. The Giants are 3 games behind the Mets for the final wild card. The Cincinnati Reds are 4 games behind the Mets. So the Mets are in pretty good standing, and they'll fire it up again tomorrow. Tomorrow's schedule looks pretty busy and actually a fun day. There are no day games. This is all night games. The Royals back at it again.
Yeah, they'll be on the airwaves the rest of this week as well.
Well, they'll
up
be
until
Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, and Thursday we're back with football, correct?
Thursday we're back at football. Friday we have high school football along the way.
I love it.
So we can get through that. It'll be an interesting day tomorrow. We've got special guests throughout the course of the day tomorrow. We've also got some news on the pro tennis event coming. We'll talk about that coming to Lincoln. And we need folks to jump on board, buy tickets, and be supportive of the Lincoln Challenger. Talk about that. We'll get back to the big week that was in recruiting, especially with Bo Bassett and Melvin Miller being in town. Some flashback from that. We'll talk about that tomorrow as well. But thank you for hanging out with us on a Monday. Let us be the ones that get to say, we hope you had a fantastic Monday, but have a fantastic Tuesday. Let us be the first to say that to you because we can. Y'all be good. Harrison?
Bears get it right next week.
Yes, sir.
And if not, you'll get to see my emotions. All right. Appreciate everybody listening. As DP said, take a weeknights. It's a wrap up. Early break tomorrow morning, 6 a.m.
I think it's just vapor.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
there's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod